welcome back to my channel. So I'm in the same outfit as my other video. You'll see that one first before you see this one. So that one was a Tier foundation wear test, and this is going to be, I got this for Christmas for my husband and I finally get to use it. This is the Cosmic Brushes Death Palette. I have the Lovers, and I do plan on, if I do have the time while I'm off of work and on Christmas break, I want to do a palette, Cosmic Brushes palette, like tutorial for each of them, and at the end rank my favorite palettes from Cosmic Brushes, because I pretty much have all of them except the very first one. All right, so we're going to break into this. This is the Death palette, 20 shades. Oh, she's glorious. Look at this. Colors that I never thought would go together, but I'm actually intrigued. And for this, I am going to probably gravitate towards these warmer shades to kind of go with my shirt. So I'm very curious about how this is going to plan out. But look at these shades. Very pretty. We're going to swatch them and see how beautiful these shades are, which I have no doubt Cosmic Brushes is going to impress me, because it always does. All right, let's get to swatching. All right, so let's get into it. The first shade is going to be 13. We're going to start here and work our way across. Next shade is Mourn, then Scorpio, then Letting Go. So this is supposed to be for like tarot cards, and the Death card, as far as my knowledge is, here's 13, here's Mourn, here's Scorpio, ooh, and Letting Go. The Death card is supposed to be kind of like a renewal, something like you're starting a next chapter. It's like the death of your past, death of things that didn't work out, and to basically just let, like how this shade says, letting go, closing up some chapters, kind of going through a change, more or less. The next shade is Closure. And we have Release. Ooh, that one's pretty. And then we have Challenges, which it's a navy blue. Ah. Acceptance. These are pretty. There is Closure, Release, Challenges, Acceptance. Ooh, Acceptance is quite pretty. It looks purple in the pan, or gold in the pan, but it's more like, see that purple shift and gold shift? Very nice. All right. Inevitable, Self-Awareness, Growth, ooh, Surrender. So here's Inevitable, Self-Awareness. You can barely see that on my skin, but it's like a mustardy khaki color. Growth, ooh, that's more pink with green shift in it. Surrender, that is a nice mustardy shade. I might use my other arm for the next rows. We have Shedding, Rebirth, Changes, Transformation. So here is Shedding, Rebirth. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. Changes, which is a matte red. Transformation, that one's pretty. It's just that pink with a gold shift. All right, last row. New Beginnings, Awakening, Renewal. Ooh, Renewal's pretty. Got like a green shift to it almost. And then The End, which is a matte black. So there is your swatches for the Death palette from Cosmic Brushes. Now let's play. All right, eyes are primed and ready to go. Now we're going to get into the palette, I'm gravitating towards more like the browner colors. I'm going to first start, let me get a brush here. I'm going to start with Self-Awareness here. This one seems promising as far as like a crease shade. And I'm going to start with a crease shade because I want to see what this can do. That's actually really pretty in the crease. It's very subtle. All right, Surrender is next, which is more of a like mustard color, which I feel like would go great in the crease. I love Cosmic brushes. They are my favorite formula, and I'm still kind of discovering some indie brands as I go. I've loved the Day Day Signature. It's sold out, so I didn't want to do a video on it, but my husband also got me that one for Christmas, and it's the Christmas one. It's sold out. I don't want to do a video if it's sold out, but it's gorgeous. I used it when I was down in Las Cruces visiting family, and it worked so well. So pretty, so glittery, but I've been liking their formulas too. All right, so we're going to go into shedding. We're just going to take it here. Just kind of buff it through. Oh, I feel like I got a little patchy there. Honestly, that's just my eye. When I do transition shades, it doesn't quite go well with darker shades on top. Yeah, see, it's patchy right there. I'm just kind of stamping it where I want it. Then I'm going to take Surrender and just buff it on top. Just trying to clean up and buff those edges. Now it's a little hard to do because this brush was not very good at depositing the color, so I'm just going to grab a different brush and just place again and buff at the same time. That works a little bit better. I know it's all patchy. We're going to get Self-Awareness and use this to kind of buff a little more. All right, we are going to get Mourn here. This one is a nice brow bone shade, and yep, it performs very well. Love a good brow bone shade. All right, now we're going to get into the fun parts. I'm going to start deepening it a little bit more. I think I'm going to go at the end, but I'm going to use a different brush. Yeah, which is black. So I want to deepen it a little more. And use that brown shade to buff it out a little more. Perfect. Now I'm going to take this brush, do shedding. Now these shades are very important, I feel, for me. I don't really get tarot card readings or understand a lot of it. I do like a lot of bands that have tarot card themes, but I have seen a tarot card reading before, and I think it's really interesting how people think, some people that don't know, and even myself, I was just like, does the death card mean something bad? No, it does not. It means like kind of like an awakening, time for change, time for adjustment in your life, you know? And I feel like that resonates with me. I need a change. And it's not necessarily my life, a change in me. And I have been fighting for this change for years now. And it's mostly because I have gone through a great loss in my life, uh, almost 9 years ago now. And that loss has really upended my mental health, as it should have. I mean, as expected. It was, the death of my mother, so it's like it's very, very traumatic, and I had to deal with a lot of the trauma of that. So I feel like I've been struggling to get a renewal for myself. And yes, I've changed jobs, but that hasn't really quite given me that satisfaction of a renewal. It's mostly given me um, just an adjustment and change to where I have more time with my kids and my husband, which is a good thing. But as far as personal, I did enjoy the job I had. The job I do have, I do enjoy right now. I do enjoy working at the school and being a finance person. I really do enjoy it. But is it my absolute passion? No. My art has died, it feels, ever since my mom passed away. So I'm trying to like gain that renewal of being inspired again to do art. And I have been just doing it through my makeup, not necessarily art. So it's a little bit tougher that way. But I feel like this palette resonates with me. All right, so I'm gonna take some makeup wipe. I can't even talk. And I didn't set my concealer, so it's fine. We're just cutting that a little bit. All right, so for the lid, I really wanted to do Rebirth. I feel like that's something I really, really resonate as well. I'm going to put this in the center. Right here. And I feel like I will get that change, and I do sketch still. It's just I don't have the motivation anymore like I used to. I used to crank out art left and right. And it's been really a struggle because I feel like it just died with the death of my mom. It just died. I'm trying to get that back because I don't want to spend my whole life being afraid to do something that I've always loved and be, I guess, afraid to do it. You know what I mean? It's going to be definitely a struggle to get there, and I hope that this new year can spark a better me. Right, I'm going to do this shade here. This is Growth, which I do need some growth. We're going to put her right there. Like that. Pretty. It's very, oh, it's very pretty. All right, so we are going to start putting on some powder. And I do like using this powder. This is my favorite powder, and this is the 16-hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation from Essence in the shade Champagne. Let's see. I need a little more coverage. Yep. I still see dark spots peeking through. And a lot of people that demo it on TikTok tend to just swipe and say, this is coverage, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't think so. It seems like we need a little more, especially if you have melasma or dark spots like me. It's just a layering. I really don't like to layer because it just, for me, I don't want more makeup on. I want a one and done type of deal. And it's still poking through. And it is a stubborn dark spot, but it's like, come on. Let's cover up. that's just like the thing. It's like you are not AI at all. So far, coverage is not that. Every time I try and cover, it just peeks through again, and that's not a good sign for a foundation. This side, oh, yep, as I suspected. Do you see that? There's more coverage that needs to be had. Not quite what I had in mind when I wanted coverage. And that's what I see, like it just keeps poking through no matter how many times I go on top of it, it just keeps poking through, and that's not normal. All right, well, we're gonna leave it like that. Not the best coverage, I'm gonna say. I mean, there's a lot of women that probably don't have the skin that I have, but maybe there are people that do. I'm testing this out for them. Not the coverage I was expecting. I would have liked more. It feels comfortable. Let's just put it that way. It's comfortable. It's not necessarily the best coverage like it claims. All right, so I'm going to put on my bronzer and all that stuff. I'll come back and then I'm going to do a start of the wear test. All right, look is complete. This is a gorgeous palette. It's very interesting in that it has such a interesting color range. I mean, but I do like that you have the purples, kind of like the reds, the muted tones, the blues, and the grays. So basically you have a look here, 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 and here. So that's not bad. I mean, to me, I'm like, if I'm in a rush and I want to look, I can just do this, buff it out, inner corner, liner, like easy. Same with this row. Same with this row. This one would be a little bit more light for me, but I would still pull from like here to darken it up. But it does have a versatility to it, and I really, really do love the design of the packaging. I love the design of the colors, the layout. This color has my heart. Oh my God. That holographic beautifulness. And when you buff it out, look at that. It is just glittery, sparkly, and beautiful. Can I use this as a highlighter? No, I cannot. But we are going to use one as a highlighter. And I feel like the best one that could do the job is Acceptance. It's light enough to where it could. And it has a gold shift. Let's do a little bit of growth too. Always like to use eyeshadow as my highlight because you never know. Did a good job. So overall, I really, really do love this palette. It's really pretty. The colors are just insane, especially that inner corner. It's really interesting and unique. I feel like the look looks great, matches my shirt a little bit. I just needed that pop of the teal. That teal was just calling my name. And then that color there is beautiful. So yeah, I do highly recommend this palette. This is a good one. This is definitely a good one. It might take me a little bit to kind of get some looks together, but I do, let me know in the comments if you want to see me do every single palette from Cosmic Brushes, because that is my favorite brand and I have most of them. I have every single one that's come out except the very, very first one, which was like a pink, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a pink palette, and it had all these beautiful like bright colors in it. I'll have to look it up to make sure I get that name right, but that one I don't have, but I have the rest of them from then on. So if you want me to do these, I definitely would want to do this for you because I really want you to see the versatility of all the palettes. And if you like to do one brand, and just want to see all the palettes, or just want to reference if you're thinking of picking up a palette from Cosmic Brushes and you want to, because usually when I'm looking, I look for people that have reviewed it or have done a look with it, and I'm like, all right, I think I can do that. So that's what I probably will do, is I'll do one for each of them, a tutorial, non-speaking one, so I don't ramble on, and that way I can let you know how they all work and what looks I can come up with those. So yeah, that'll be coming fairly soon. So yeah, I really do like this palette. Awesome. I love Cosmic Brushes. It's one of my favorite. I think it's Cosmic Beauty or Cosmic Brushes. I can't remember. But highly recommend. They are from the UK. They don't take long to get here, really. It took pretty quickly to get here. So I'm excited. Anyways, that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed, and please subscribe and like this video. It really helps my channel out. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. Working hard, 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 trying to get there for years. So I hope I can get there someday so I can really focus on the channel more. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.